So, this is Topic Tuesday. I do have a quick announcement to make. So, I'm Bryn.
I'm Abby.
So, we're back again. This time we're going to be talking about transgender fashion. Now, I know that over my last streams and last week, I said that we would be talking about LGBT history, the importance of making sure that we remember it, that we make sure that we don't let corporations co-opt it, that we don't let people whitewash it. The reason I'm choosing to postpone it is because of a couple things. First off, one of the people that I wanted to have on here to talk about it is not present for various reasons. But second, and this one I think is a lot more important, that's a heavy topic. And you may not notice, we're kind of white AF. And a lot of queer history has to deal with, basically, like, non-white history itself, especially here in the West. Like with Stonewall. I wanted more time for us to do more research, for me to get a lot more facts straight. I want to make sure that there are, people that I can send y'all to get better information than what I can give, like the r/TMPOC subreddit, which is for trans men that are also people of color, because they face entirely different socioeconomic struggles than regular trans men, and oftentimes on top of what other trans men have to go through, and stuff like that. I want to make sure that I give y'all the proper resources, the right history stuff. I want to make sure that y'all have the ability to go and support those that can actually make a bigger difference than I can, and stuff like that. And it gives us a lot more time, specifically it gives me a lot more time to do better research, make sure everything is fact-checked, make sure I have stuff lined up so that I can get help to people that need it and can do a lot better than I can, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. So, with that said, this week we're going to be talking about fashion for transgender folk. So Abby here is a lot more of a fashion individual than I am. Abby actually does a lot of stuff with sewing, knitting. He made my first corset for me.
Which she immediately lost a bunch of weight, and now I have to make a new one. That's okay.
RIP. It's still hard to believe that I used to be 300 pounds.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
almost.
Almost. So, Abby, I'm going to let you take the lead on this, because I don't know anything about fashion other than spikes are cool, I like piercings and tattoos, and anything that is ripped or makes me look like I just climbed out of a dumpster is freaking awesome.
It's because you are, in fact, fucking punk.
I am. Oh, I need something spiky on. I have to have something spiky around here.
Yeah, hold on. Oh wait, dang it, that's sort of spiky.
Good enough.
Close enough. Studs are fine.
Studs are fine. Hey, LNA. Hey. Oh, Madeline Sunny. Nice. Fashion time. Okay, Abby, I'll let you take it away.
Alright. So, I am relatively well, I'm trying to phrase that the right way. Well-reasoned, I think, might be the best term for it. Because a lot of my, knowing of fashion is, one, through the FTM side of, having been raised and thinking I was a girl for a long, long time, and then realizing I wasn't halfway in my teen years, and then having to, figure out, okay, how do clothes work for, making myself not look super feminine. And then, the added-on thing of, a lot of guys' fashion is lazy. A lot of guys' fashion, you just look like you rolled out of bed and pulled on the first thing you saw, which was what I was wearing earlier. I
thought
changed.
you looked cute.
Thank you. I changed into one of my favorite flannels just because I like flannel. It makes me feel comfortable, and I just really like the patterning. But also, I wanted to kind of make a point of trans guy fashion in particular involves a lot of button downs.
Yeah.
um, yes, it
Yes,
does look
it
all the
does.
same. All the same. It's like, can we please get something fashionable that's not just a black suit? Like, for a long time I wanted to, I keep wanting to do this, but I keep forgetting or not having enough money. I want to get, like, some really fun, cute waistcoats. Because, like, especially at one of the Goodwills, like, people will just drop off these, like, Halloween-themed waistcoats all the time. And every time I go to that Goodwill, I want one, but I am there for a specific thing and I can't get it. But,
Also, hi, Robin.
it does hide. Flannels do hide your skinny arms. That's part of this. That and if you are like me, who has a very large chest, my measurements like I don't care about this, but are like 34 triple D. Sometimes if I've actually been wearing a actual bra for a while, it goes into 34E territory, which is not fun. But flannels and button downs and stuff like hide a lot of that. Like I'll just wear like what I'm wearing, which is the white T-shirt and the button down, and the chest is a bit more obvious when I'm sitting. But like when I'm standing up, it's like the illusion of flatness.
Do you want to show them?
Yeah, because like when I'm sitting, like you can see it like this, and then like yoink, things up, loop, whoop, and then flop, and then they vanished.
That they do.
Oh, sorry. There was also a particular I'm trying to think of the word for it. Words escape me a lot of the times. I'm a writer. This shouldn't be a problem for me. But there was a thing that I'd read that was basically like, here's like some tips and fashion stuff for like you trans guys who want to look cute. And
As if y'all aren't already cute.
we are adorable, but like a lot of trans guy fashion recommendation was basically just like boring as toast. Like it was basically flannel button downs and that's it. Or one where it was like wear a burlap shirt. It was like what?
What do you think about the tug on the front of shirt and hunch shoulders method?
That like works a bit, but it also makes your back hurt like crazy. That's why I start to have scoliosis, and that's why I hunch a lot.
It will hurt your back posture.
Yeah, this is why like I have if like you'll see me like slowly hunching more and more over, and then I'll be like, wait, I have to be sitting straight like a person, like a human. I've also this is my secret tips because I was wary for so long because I have such large breasts of not wearing a bra, and then like a year or so back, almost 2 years actually, I was just like, you know what, I'm not wearing a bra anymore. Like I'll wear a sports bra to hide the nipples, nothing else. Like, and I can't really wear a binder because like large chest, larger guy, so like my arms go numb if I wear a binder for like more than a couple of hours, and I can't do that at work. I can't be like numbed out at work, like, okay, I'll go to the bathroom and then come back and suddenly because at work I have to wear an apron. That's like one of the things I hand out samples, and we have a particular apron we have to wear. That sucker molds to your boobs.
It really does.
And that I actually have like started wearing like one thing. When I first started my transition, I was living with my mother. And because the apartment we were at, the owners sucked, the landlords were terrible. We needed to get a better place, but we had to live with our respective parents for a little bit.
Aren't those the same landlords that tried to... They forged an eviction notice?
Yeah, they forged an eviction notice. They were like, you have 10 days to pay us $50 or get out. And that's illegal in Arkansas, even though they... The tenant laws here
are stupid.
They're stupid. They overwhelmingly favor the landlords. It's ridiculous. But after we moved out, I was living with my mom, so I had to find kind of sneaky ways to wear more man's clothes without her getting up. Because at that point, I was out to her, but she pretended I wasn't. I'd started tea. I'd started tea. For some reason, my brain was like, wait, is that what you meant to say? But yeah, that's what I meant to say. I'd started tea, and I didn't tell her at first because she's a jerk. And I knew she would freak out about it. But she went snooping through my stuff, found the needles, and was like, oh, hey, we have to have a talk. And of course, I didn't realize there was any of the bottles that left in the bag that had tea on it. I thought I'd thrown those away, so I thought she just found the needles. So I was like, oh god, she thinks I'm on drugs. She's definitely thinking I'm doing something horrible. And I tried to explain, well, I had some medicine that needed to be injected. I didn't really want to tell you about it. I didn't want you to worry. She was like, pulls out the box with the testosterone cyopinate and sets it down, and I'm like, crap. She knows.
You could have told her that it was for controlling menstrual cycles.
I should have done that. That this is also around the time where I had surgery to see if I had endometriosis a few years back, and it turned out I didn't, but we still didn't know what the problem was. So tea has thankfully stopped that, but if I go off tea, I'm going to get walloped over the face and stomach.
Yeah.
So, a good enough reason for me to keep taking it, aside from the transness.
Yeah, I remember whenever, your everything would leave you on the floor, just...
Yeah, at one point I passed out on the bathroom floor and was just, there for an hour, and Bryn was like, well, are you alive?
It's not fun.
Nope. But, I've wandered very far afield from my original point, which is that my work, thankfully, requires men's clothes, even for the women. You have to, it specifically recommends getting a men's shirt and men's pants, because the uniform, aside from hat and apron, is a plain white button-down t-shirt, or white button-down long sleeve, and plain black slacks. Or, we actually recently are allowed to wear jeans now. That was a thing we weren't allowed to do for a long time, and that I hated it. But we are allowed to wear jeans now. So it was a perfect excuse for me when I went to the store to get the men's shirts. I was like, they're cheaper, and that's what my work recommends. And then I just never let her see me shopping for personal clothes.
Right.
And she actually ended up buying me a lot of white button-downs. I was at Kohl's, because, Kohl's is, either way too pricey always, or, you find something great for, $5. I still own some things that I bought at Kohl's for $5. But, with the shirts, especially, I found, particular type that, fit me perfectly, and Mom just bought me, 5 of them. Which, I make her sound like a jerk 100% of the time. She is not a jerk 100% of the time. She's just very transphobic, which is a bad look. It's bad. It's mean.
The heck?
What?
Is it okay if I'm hard?
Maybe.
No.
What the heck? What in the world, dude?
I'm gonna go ahead and time you out.
Sorry, dude, we're trying to keep this kid friendly. How long is your mental health?
How long is my mental health? Well, considering I work medical and I've been working in surgery for 7 or 8 years, it's okay.
I've been in therapy weekly for 3 years now.
Okay.
My mental health is great, comparatively. Every so often I'll be like, the world sucks. But I can't really therapy that out because the world literally does suck.
It is on fire.
Yes, it is literally on fire right now.
Okay.
No, screw that person.
So, you are being banned.
Do not ask about our respective genitalia.
Right?
It's rude. Very
Seriously
rude.
is. That flag in the background is the transgender flag on top of a wall that I painted. How long do you think that took me to paint? Like 30 minutes?
Yeah, like 30 minutes. It took like some spray paint
Yeah.
and like one of those like things where you spread like grout over tile and stuff. It was great.
Right? It was fantastic. Yeah, I'm sure they are, but like, I'm okay messing with the transphobes. It just means more things for me to talk about. So, I'm going to talk about trans feminine fashion, some stuff that I found out. Ooh, that is bad.
Someone posted a really rude message, or attempted to post a very rude message.
Yeah.
Do you support? No.
Of course we don't.
Nationalism is rude. It's very rude.
Well, I knew that title would definitely get some of these people out. Are y'all okay? Like,
Do y'all need a hug? Do y'all need like some juice or something? Like I'll bring you watermelon or whatever.
we live in Arkansas. We grow a lot of our own food. We can bring you like some homegrown stuff. Like, y'all are gonna be okay. Do y'all want to come over and have some gumbo?
Right. I'd have to go get the sausage and the okra, but I can make some gumbo. I can make a
Like-
mean gumbo.
It's gonna be okay. Just chill. Okay. You do not talk to my server children that way.
That is extremely rude.
If you're gonna come on here and be transphobic, you keep that directed at me.
Do not be rude to the kids, and also stop swearing, y'all, because we're trying to keep this at least PG.
You do
30.
not be mean to my server kids. Because I am an awesome thing, my human.
Because we're very soft and very huggable.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and ban you, because you're clearly not here for good reasons. Awesome.
Yeah. Rude people being rude.
Right? Okay, so, for the trans feminine fashion I found, I have to combine some of feminine fashion as well as, surprisingly, some guys' fashion. And I found that the more weight I lose and the longer I've been on HRT, the more typical feminine fashion I'm able to incorporate, because a lot of feminine fashion in the West is all focused towards generic skinny white chicks. Because, yeah. So, for instance, I do currently weigh 200 pounds. I've lost nearly 100 pounds, and a lot of my weight is currently muscle, because I do like to work out. It is fun for me. I found that because I have some stomach pudge that I can't really get rid of, because, hey, that's where everything goes whenever I'm doing my sit-ups and stuff.
It's also where all your organs are.
It's also where all my organs are. There are subtle illusions I can do with my shirts and my pants and belt in order to hide that pudge. So, if I can... Oh no, who's that? Spam? Yay!
Spam risk, so I'm not answering it.
I don't like eating spam, it's gross and slimy. Can you back your chair up a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm going to show them the illusion.
Yeah.
So, it is where stress puts fat. Okay, so, can you scoot up a little bit more? Sweet. So, the illusion is that I'm pretty flat. I'm really not. So, if I pull up my shirt, you can see that, like, I have all of this pudge right here, and then I have this pudge up here. But I keep this belt up here, and I keep it tightened just a little bit, just in order to hide all of this pudge. And then, by putting it just slightly tight, not super tight, you don't want to have any difficulty breathing, and by keeping it just above my stomach and everything, it helps me appear much more flat than I really am. And in addition to that, as I'm like walking and stuff like that, it pushes stuff up, so it gives me the illusion of larger breasts than I typically have.
Also, similar effects can be gotten with, like, a corset or shapewear. Bryn doesn't really like wearing shapewear because that is sensory heck for, like, a lot of reasons. When I still thought I was a girl, I would occasionally have to wear shapewear for whatever reason, and I hated it more than life.
Right.
I hated it. I still have some. I hate it.
Which is fun. I've also found that, and this is going to be weird, okay?
It's always weird.
So we live in a society. There is a lot of sexism that goes into women's fashion, and there is some racism, because almost all fashion in the West is directed towards generic white people. Thankfully, the fashion industry is starting to grow significantly, and there is a lot more fashion that is directed at actual people that have realistic body shapes. Thank God. Yes, Gray, we live in a society. I love that. I found that there are other ways that I can hide aspects about me that would get me injured in other ways. Example, I live in the conservative South, so my voice not passing or me having stubble could get me injured. But I found that there are specific ways that I can use the bad aspects of our society to keep myself safe. For instance, there's a lot of sexism in our society, and I can use necklaces and other stuff to get the focus and attention. Okay, Elenia. I can use things like necklaces and stuff like that to draw attention from my face down to my chest, which people will look at my chest, which means they're not looking up here at my stubble, and then if they make eye contact with me, they look away. Which is useful.
At that point, they're embarrassed.
Which is useful. And then if they're embarrassed or their lizard brain is taking control, they're significantly less likely to notice things like my voice not being on average, and they won't notice a lot of other aspects. Like, I do have a little bit of a Adam's apple, and I will hide that, especially if I'm in punk mode, which happens a lot because I like punk stuff. I'll hide it with, like, a choker or a specific kind of necklace or something. In addition to that, things like having brightly colored hair, Wonder Woman t-shirt, not walking like I'm some dainty little girl, but instead walking like I am an actual powerful woman with multiple years of self-defense training who can kick someone's butt because, hey, I used to work security and as a bouncer, and I like fighting. I should probably go back to self-defense and martial arts classes.
You probably figure, because your center of gravity has definitely changed.
It has, which has made it difficult for me to do certain things, because I'm so used to doing it as like, oh, I'm this big guy, I need to do it this way, and then I do it that way because I'm used to that, and then it's like, oh god.
Oh wait, that's not working anymore.
That doesn't work, what the heck? But, yeah, by walking like I'm confident, by wearing what I'm comfortable with, and by actually feeling empowered, as well as things like wearing spikes, having colored hair, my nose pierced, all this other stuff, I found that specific types of people will avoid me. Like, for instance, the more alt-right people and the people that are like, oh, you need to be a trad wife, they'll tend to avoid me because I make them uncomfortable just by my sheer existence, which I am totally okay with. Also, the way I do my hair can affect a lot. Example, this is just the way my hair naturally falls, but I can do a more punk look, or I can do a more... Hey, Jasmine, you're freaking awesome. Jasmine is my little sister. I love her. She is beautiful. But I can do a more punk look and give myself an entirely different way of looking, or I can go something like a braid or a more traditional feminine look, and based on what outfit I wear, it can drastically change how I look, and it can drastically affect my dysphoria. Like, there are times whenever I'm feeling super dysphoric, I'm like, oh god, why do I look like this? and then I can just go to the mirror and I can spend like 30, 40 minutes just playing with my hair, trying out new hairstyles. And not only am I learning new things about my hair and how to get it into the shape and style I want, but also a lot of the time I come away actually feeling pretty, which is nice. Like that picture that I took the other day and put up on my Instagram. Shout out to my Instagram. So yeah. And Abby actually did teach me a lot about fashion whenever I first started coming out.
Yeah, because, again, raised in a very, like, very strict gender roles in my house. Very strict fashion roles and rules, too. Like, my mother was perennially 20 years behind in fashion. It was kind of hilarious. So every time I tried to wear something modern fashion, she'd be like, no! But I had to go out and learn that on my own purposefully, and now I've passed that knowledge to Bryn, because I'm not going to use it.
And remember whenever you first started your transition and, like, you and I would spend, like, hours just walking back and forth in, like, the living room and stuff like that? Because, like, you had, like, dysphoria about the way you walked.
Secret to walking like a guy when you have wider hips. Watch Dean Winchester's walk. Or I guess Jensen Ackles, I think. He's the same walk as his character. But because Jensen Ackles has like a bit of a wider hip set. Like his leg, like the way his legs are, is a touch more like feminine looking than like most guys. But he's got a very masculine like walk. Like kind of a swagger to it, so just like looking at the way he walks and kind of like halfway imitating it, and then you like over time you create your own style and like think of how you in particular want to present and walk and like all that and fun stuff. But it helps you walk in a way that like feels much more like affirming. Because like I'm try to mostly focus on the way it feels to you, like. Oh, I like the way this walk makes me feel, or I like the way these clothes make me feel, as opposed to, like, what the other people see.
Yeah. And the way you feel whenever you go out in public will greatly change the way you are perceived by others. For instance, I've worn the same outfit before, where during one time that I wore it, I felt very meek, weak, shy. I felt like, oh god, no one look at me, I'm ugly. And I got a lot of different looks, and I got treated differently and stuff like that. But then I've worn the same outfit while feeling, I am pretty, I am awesome, I am strong, I am cool. And I say that in the most middle-class soccer mom way ever.
I'm a cool mom.
I'm a cool mom, okay?
You guys alright? You need some snacks?
Oh, Lord.
I'm cutting off the last of that quote because this is a kid-friendly screen.
But same outfit and everything. And the second time I wore it, I actually had gained a little bit of weight. I was in a depressive episode and stuff. But I got a lot of compliments. I actually had people, like, come up to me and be like, hey, like, other women come up to me and be like, hey, you're really pretty, like, they just wanted to talk, and they just, like, wanted to talk about my outfit, which had never happened before, and having other women come up to me, approach me, and be like, hey, you're one of us, you're our sister, do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about clothing and outfits? Because you look bomb. Like, that had a huge effect on my mental health. For the rest of the day, it was like I was walking on cloud 9. I could literally, in real life, climb Mount Celeste. I could be Madeline for a little bit. Like, I was good. Hi. But yeah, the way you feel about yourself will dictate a lot of how people perceive you. For instance, the way that I used to walk. Abby, do you want to tell them how you used to describe it?
I've been sent to kill Captain America.
Yeah. So, I used to have that walk where it looked like I was walking to kill Captain America. And the thing about me walking in that old way is that it made everything a lot easier. People very quickly got out of my way. And so, like, it became normal for my friend group to all walk behind me.
Like a bunch of little ducklings.
Because even if we got into a crowded area, people would just move. I wouldn't have to say excuse me, I wouldn't have to talk, I wouldn't have to do anything. I would just walk like normal for me, and people would just move.
You're like, oh crap, do not want in this person's way. Nope.
But then I started transition, and I felt a lot weaker. A lot of it was internalized.
Jeez Louise, cat.
Do you want to go check on the kitten?
Yeah, I'm gonna go check on her. She's screaming at us.
Did she just want in?
She just wants in.
Hi, baby. Oh,
Little good girl.
hi, baby. But yeah, because whenever I was a guy, I felt super dysphoric about my body. I was always angry that I couldn't be a woman. So I was like, you know what? If I can't be a woman, it means I just need to be more manly. So I'm going to work out more, and I'm going to get into fights, and I'm going to do all this other very stupid stuff. And it gave me a very different type of confidence, because the way I faced the world was everything will get out of my way, or I'll move it out of my way. Wasn't a healthy mindset, but it definitely made me confident. Because there were very few times I ran into anything that I couldn't move out of my way. Like, I literally remember people getting in my way and me just picking them up and just literally moving them out of my way. Like, okay, bam.
Usually with people
Stay down.
Usually with people we knew, it wasn't like strangers.
Usually.
At one point we had this little, like, he was like 4'9" or something, like friend named Diego. It was very easy just to be like, okay, and vroom, vroom, vroom. He's very much a chihuahua.
He is. But whenever I started transition, I had to face a lot of that stuff, because a lot of what I had been living as and believing about myself and stuff like that, I realized was completely... It would not work with what I wanted to be. And I had to face the fact that a lot of what I had been was not what I wanted, but is what I felt I needed to be in order to be confident, happy, etc., with what I had been given. And so after having faced a lot of that, I ended up feeling very weak, very shy, a lot of other bad emotions. And it took me a while to realize just because I've started transition doesn't mean that everything I went through isn't real. Okay, see you in a minute, Myra. And in addition to that, I am still me. My name is changed, yes. My body is changing. I'm finally getting to be on the outside who I've already been on the inside. But I'm still me, I'm just a more honest me. And once I started getting my confidence back, and I started coming to terms with the fact that, you know what? I am powerful, I am cool. Like, we had a security scare at the hospital, and my coworkers still send me out to go and check it. Because they're like, hey, you're the person who gets assigned to the violent patients, because you have a very good history of de-escalation and not getting punched.
Or shot.
Or shot. So you go handle this. They're still sending me out to do that. They're still having me be the person to go and check on things and to go talk to people that they're afraid of. And I've gotten some of my confidence back. Not just my confidence in that I am beautiful and attractive, but my confidence in that, you know what, I can still hold my own in a fight. You want to get out and be, like, transphobic towards me and come at me and stuff like that? Okay. Let's do it. I'm okay with this. Let's do it. So I've started walking the way I used to walk more, but, like, in a more feminine way, purposely. because I like swinging my hips back and forth. It's really fun.
So instead of the Winter Soldier being sent to kill Captain America, it's Black Widow being sent to take down the Hydra.
And it's funny because people still get out of my way again, but they stare while they're doing it. And I get comments sometimes, like for instance, there have been a couple of times whenever like I was walking at Walmart and I had this one woman who was in an aisle see me walking down and all these people just kind of get out of my way. And like I heard her say under her breath, "Ooh, you get it, girl." And I was like, "Yes. Yes, thank you." And like I've actually had other women come up and like I had this happen whenever I was a guy too, because I guess I just gave off that aura of, "Hey, I'm not a threat, but I can definitely be one to other people." Because like I've had women approach me whenever I was in guy mode and be like, "Oh, hey, big brother, here you are. Yeah, totally. Thank you for walking me home." And it was like, okay, there's probably some guy being a creep. Let's get you home, new little sister. But like, now that I'm in woman mode, I've had a lot more women approach me and be like, "Oh, hi, you're my new best friend. Let's walk." And it's just like, okay, cool. And I like knowing that I can make people feel safe. I can make people feel protected, and on top of that, people still think I can hold my own. I'm not being just, "Oh, she's a girl now. She can be disqualified and ignored." I like knowing that I'm gonna persist. Because she persisted.
Hell yeah.
I am such a dork. So yeah, the way you carry yourself, the way you think about yourself, I like to see it as there are two ways of how you look. There's how you look to other people, and then there's how you look to yourself. And how you look to yourself isn't just how you look in a mirror, but is also how you look in your mind. Bucks or sons. I don't understand what that reference is. If it is something transphobic, I will definitely be blocking you.
It might be sports.
Sports? Oh, hi, baby.
I don't know sports, though.
Right. All I know about sports is my dad tried to make me watch it once because he thought it would make me straight, and then I got really into it for one game just to annoy him, and I spent the entire time being like, "Oh, heck yeah, look at all these freaking awesome hot men wrestling in the mud over a leather ball trying to score." And then he was like, okay, go, leave, go. You're ruining football.
This isn't technically, this is not dirty, it's just, for those of you who do have an attraction to guys in the audience, Turkish oil wrestling.
Shut up. No comment.
No comment about Turkish oil wrestling.
So yeah, there is something I want to breach. Like, I know the topic Tuesdays are supposed to be stream of consciousness, but there is something I actually want to breach, specifically with you.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a lot of young trans men in our audience and in our server, and trans men are not represented near as much as trans women. Like, that's just a sad fact. Abby, what are some things that you think trans men should know who, let's say, are in their teens, specifically things about binding, fashion, etc.?
Yeah. The biggest thing for binding is that it has a lot of potential to be dangerous. Even if you're doing it properly, sometimes it can hurt you, but you just have to be very careful. One, follow all the rules that have been set out, like, don't wear it for longer than, 6 or 7 hours. Don't ever double bind. Never double bind. That was a bad idea. I did that once as Dean Winchester at a cosplay con. It was not good.
I have seen, throughout my 7 years in medical, I have seen, I think 2 or 3, I'm going to err on the side of caution and say 2, individuals that I believe to be trans men come in with binder-related injuries because they binded for too long or they double binded and broke a rib, and like, yeah, it can be dangerous, it can be harmful. Please be careful when binding.
Yeah. And do not buy, I know they're a lot cheaper and it's tempting. Don't buy the Japanese one, or the Chinese ones that, like, are, like, $10 or whatever, but just takes
On Wish.
to get it. Yeah, on Wish or on, like, Amazon even. Or the ones that are, like, tomboy cross-dressing, yada yada.
Yeah.
Those are pain. Those
Yeah.
will not work how you want them to.
Go for quality over quantity.
Like me and Jay recommended last week, GC2B is the biggest one. Like, they are a company for trans gay guys, like, by trans guys. And I think, like, some non-binary and probably trans femme, too. And they have, like, a wide variety of different, like, colors and styles and stuff like that. And sometimes on Halloween, they'll even have binders, like, compatible, like, Halloween costumes, which are nice. They are not that expensive, especially compared to a lot of other things. It's like $35, $40 for, like, a half tank, and then, like, $45 or so for the, like, full tank. Oops. I don't recognize that number. Also not answering. I don't answer numbers I don't recognize.
I do, that's because I like to mess with them.
But, that's, like, the biggest thing. And if you feel your ribs hurting, no matter how long you've been wearing it, if it's properly fitted or whatever, if you feel your ribs hurting, you need to go take it off. Always, like, bring up a backup sports bra or something like that. You do need to go take it off. I have, like, I spend a lot of time on online spaces because, like, I don't like talking to people in real life. And, like, I've followed a few trans mask people, like, not both, like, non-binary and trans men. And, like, one particular who was stealth for a while, so they did have to wear the binder a little longer. They had to take it off at night or whatever. And, legitimately, even though they were following all of the rules and everything, ended up dislocating a rib. Which, ribs are incredibly difficult to get back into place, and if you break a rib, there is nothing that can be done. Like, unless it's, like, you know, poking you in the lungs or something, in which case they have to surgery it and put it back in place. But for a regular broken rib, they're not doing that. They're just going to basically tape up your chest to keep it as, like, stiff as possible, and keep it from moving too much. But then there's also, if you're a young trans guy and you're, like, experimenting with, like, more masculine styles, like, definitely go with, like, I've mentioned here a lot, there's a lot of, like, cliche about the button flannel, like, the button-down flannels and jeans and stuff, but that is a very comfortable style. It's very, like, neutral. It's a way to feel, like, more masculine without actually, like, without necessarily having to come out. If your family is unsupportive or something like that, it can be just like, oh, I'm having a flannel day. I'm having a flannel day.
Which, to be clear, flannel looks... I like a guy in flannel.
Flannel looks really good. I love flannel. I love tartan. I'm not Scottish, unfortunately. I don't think. It might be somewhere way back, but I love tartan, and I love plaid, and I love all of those, the stripies. I love the textures. They're fun. Textures. Patterns. That's not...
I'm putting pictures of the kitten in the trans server.
Yes, because she's being adorable.
And due to the amount of brigaders that have appeared in this one, I'll not be posting a link. So if you'd like a link to the Tran Discord server, you can message me on Discord at Cathanid number 9337. Or, sorry, Brynhilder number 9337. And talk to me, and I'll see about getting you an invite.
Yeah. Other things for fashion, like for shirts, asymmetrical designs are really good for hiding breasts. Because, like, with symmetrical designs or, like, repeating designs, you can see where things are, like, stretched or shadowed a lot easier. So, like, the asymmetrical things, it's a bit of an illusion. You can't quite see it as well. And, also, pants, because this is the big thing. A lot of trans guys do not know how a guy's pants work, aside from, like, they're slightly easier because the measurements are existent. Like, they're easy. The measurements are the measurements, and that's all necessary.
Shopping for women's clothes sucks.
These clothing sizes are impossible.
They really are.
But, you be honest with yourself about your waist size and your leg length. But also, skinny jeans and straight legs. Those are the ones you want. Because they are going to be a little more form-fitting to your leg, and it's going to better create the, like, illusion of more masculine musculature. Because if you're wearing baggy jeans, it is going to hang off your hips and make your hips and, like, thighs and stuff that more noticeable. And you don't want that, because that, one, is just it's a very dysphoric feeling. It also will kind of make you look like a drowned baby. Or at least that's what it made me look like. And it made me feel like that, which is, I think, the more important part of it. But, then there's, underwear, boxers, wonderful. They are way more comfortable than I thought they were going to be. I thought I would hate them. But, the, like, athletic boxers are the best. The ones that are stretchy because they kind of compress you a little bit. Those are really good because they take off a little bit of the hip. Make it just a little more squished. So it's a little bit more of a straight instead of a thump. And, like, you can find that, like, you can find those boxers kind of anywhere. I always get mine from Walmart because it's easiest. I used to, like, because when I first heard that tip, it was, like, under specifically, like, compression boxers, and I had no idea what those were. So I looked that up, and I ended up spending way too much for, like, compression boxers online. And then later learned that athletic type boxers, like the stretchy ones or whatever, are the same thing. There's also the, like, ones that are kind of made to be a little more cooling, that have kind of, like, some weirdness in the crotch area, where if you're packing, you can stick that in there. Because, most people are not really going to notice a bulge, but you will probably notice it yourself.
Yeah.
And that like, I understand how that can, like, make people very uncomfortable. Like, if you're thinking, like, if you feel the lack of what you feel you should have. Yeah. Like, that's just what dysphoria is. You're like, something should be there, it's not there. Or some things are there that shouldn't be there, depending on where and who.
Yeah. Talking about that, so we are going to move into an area that may be uncomfortable for some of y'all. We will be talking about underwear and, stuff. Okay? It's not going to be sexual in nature. I'm going to be talking about this in the same way that I would be talking about it to one of my young patients who I was giving advice to because whatever reason. Okay?
I'll be giving it in the same way I would give advice to a cousin of mine who was like, hey, you're, like, an adult but not a weird adult. Can you explain some things to me?
Exactly. So, something that I often worry about whenever I'm wearing pants, dresses, whatever else, is bulge. Now, this is kind of a stupid fear in reality because extremely few people would ever notice that kind of thing. And the kind of people that would are not really people whose opinions you want to care about.
They're checking out the crotch on the ladies. Why?
But you notice it. And I know that I notice it. Welcome back, Myra. I hope you got your foods. Or, wait, was that Myra who went to get that? Either way, if you are in the stream, or alive, on the planet Earth. I hope that you've eaten and drunk something today. I hope that you are staying hydrated.
Hydrate or hydrate, as the theater kids say.
Yeah. But I do notice, bulging down there. And something that causes me a lot of dysphoria is whenever there's a lot of movement down there. So something I will recommend to my fellow... Oh, nice health. I need to...
Brush our teeth, too.
Yeah, I forgot to brush mine this morning. That's okay. I will after the stream. Promise.
That was that was not like crossed by fingers, get out of the promise. That was double swear.
I love you. But something that I will recommend for those that either haven't had bottom surgery, who don't intend to have bottom surgery or can't, or for those that are still in the closet, something that you can do to help with all of that is, one, boy shorts. Boy shorts are amazing. I hate tighty whities. They suck. Boxers, they offer too much room for movement. And they can also...
Way too constricting.
Right. But boy shorts are perfect. They keep everything in its place. They keep things from moving. They help hide the bulge.
And they're cute. Like, they have a bunch of cute patterns and colors and everything. I didn't mean it like that. They make you, the person wearing them, feel cute.
You're making it worse, and I love you.
I love you too.
In addition to that, there are various things you can do for, the chesticles. I found that wearing a sports bra that is slightly, a sports bra that is the right size, but a shirt that is slightly smaller than what I would normally wear, helps emphasize everything, and it helps make everything a lot more apparent. It also, surprisingly, makes me feel a lot skinnier. So that's fun. Wired bras, the more regular, generic kind of bra that everyone thinks of whenever they think of a bra. Are those called wired bras, or am I just...
It's
dumb?
underwire.
Underwire bra. I am so smart.
Oh, no, that's okay. It's very similar.
You can tell how smart I am by the blonde hair. Which I dyed pink so that I would be smarter. Duh. But yeah, underwire bras. They help perk things up, which definitely helps emphasize everything up there. So wearing a combination of boy shorts and an underwire bra, by wearing my pants and a belt the way I showed earlier in the stream, as well as wearing a shirt that is slightly smaller than what I would normally wear, it helps me form my body in a way that actually looks somewhat how I want to be perceived. And I found that that is a big thing for me, is it's not just how I physically look, because and I'm not trying to be self-disparaging. I'm not the prettiest girl out there. I get it. I have my moments when I am like, she's nice. I have my moments where I'm like hot. But I get it, okay? But I found that it's not just how I look. I could still be ugly, but the thing that comes down to it, I've discovered, isn't just how I look at all, but is how I'm being perceived by others. If others are perceiving me as a woman, everything is a lot better, okay? Whereas I've had people view me as attractive, but they perceive me as a guy, and they're like, oh, look at that hot femboy. And it's like, no, honey, I am not a femboy. Rude, first of all. Second of all, date is canceled. Third of all...
I'll get my purse and the breadsticks.
Third of all, I did a background check on you, so, your whole life is trash, and I'm letting everyone know just how trash you are. I'm gonna stop going down the list because it just gets more and more drastic. Which, by the way, background checks are super easy to do, and it only costs like $20. Probably Myra. Or Jasmine. Jasmine, Myra, and Madeline, each of them are prettiest in a different way. And in a way that is not describable via words.
I'd have to say the prettiest girl in the world is this one. So, baby. I'm sorry. You can't win over cats. I love you.
I'm angry at you.
You're the cat.
Both. But yeah, that's what I've learned. I'm not great with makeup yet. I still occasionally accidentally get mascara in my eye. The first time I did makeup, whenever I started transition, I came out of the bathroom and Abby started laughing.
It was on her eyelid. Her actual eyeball. It was bad.
Like, all of this was just so pale and covered in really badly done foundation. And then you just had this, which was just normal skin tone.
The problem is, at the time, I was paler. I'm a little bit more tan now because I've spent a lot of time outside. But normally I am a lot paler than her.
But yeah, I will, once I know and understand makeup a lot better, I will do a stream where I just do makeup. And I intend to do another fashion stream, like with the same topic, but with a mod from the server named Jay, who is very big on fashion, far more into fashion than even you. And
they're NB, so they've unlocked a second layer of fashion that we have no access to.
And they can, like, pass as a guy or a girl, and they're super attractive as both, and it's like, come on! Why do you take all the hot?
You've stolen all of the cute.
You've stolen all the cute, now I gotta go jump in the microwave.
And they're the ones who are technically this kitten's owners.
Right?
So...
This kitten. Aradia. But yeah, I'm gonna do a stream in the future talking about makeup. I found that I have such a pronounced jawline and everything, and, like, I ate a lot yesterday, so you can't see it, but normally, like, my cheeks aren't filled in as much, and they kind of dip a little bit, so I have this, like, weird facial look about me. But
I like her cheekbones. They're very cute.
People keep saying that, and I can't see it.
They're adorable.
Shush. Shut. I'm kidding. You know that meme, though? It's like, shut.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found that whenever I do makeup, just a little bit of foundation, and then using contour and concealer to accentuate my cheekbones, to tone down my chin, and to accentuate my dips and stuff like that, while also, like, making everything else look a lot brighter and a little bit, you know, more blushy, healthier. I found that that gets me a lot more compliments, and it kind of makes me look a lot more like this put-upon Victorian woman that was somehow transported to suburban middle America and hates and works at a hospital and hates how stuck up everyone is because, hey, I didn't have air conditioning and rights whenever I worked back whenever I was in old Victorian England, and look at me now, Janet. I can show my ankle to anyone I want, Janet.
My elbows are fabulous, Janet.
Look at my elbows, Janet. They're moisturized. Lord. Okay. What about you, Abs? Any parting words?
Be safe, be comfortable. Like, that's the biggest thing, is, like, no matter what you're wearing or what you're trying to present, like, comfort is probably the most important part.
It really is.
It's like, That's, why I recommend button-down flannels so much, is they're just so cozy. Like, in addition to, like, the perks they have. Or, like, your jeans, they're very cozy. I used to actually hate jeans, but then I got over it. But they are a lot more cozy than a lot of other types of pants. I would just wear, like, sweatpants or shorts. For years, it was terrible. But,
Yeah. And all I wore growing up was button-down shirts, my flannel-lined jeans, and my military coat. Even in the height of summer.
I know I have all of the jeans, I just have to make them a little smaller.
Yeah. And I gave my military coat away, which I think is a big accomplishment, because I treated that thing like my security blanket.
For years.
Now I got a Dysphoria hoodie.
Which is adorable. It's pink and blue
Oh
and has
my
cute
God.
little pulls.
Ah.
But it's the most adorable hoodie. I love
Stop calling me adorable.
it. It's calling the hoodie adorable. But you're adorable too.
Do you see what I have to live with?
Yes, a partner who loves you and thinks you're adorable. So horrible. So
It's
rude.
terrible. It's
So
terrible.
rude. So mean.
I hate it so much. So much. But yeah, stay comfortable. Oh, another thing. Lean into the weird. Like,
If you want to show up to school wearing cat ears, wear those cat ears. I did it, and I was not labeled the weird kid.
'cause like, I tried so hard during my early transition to look like a stereotypical generic white chick. And it didn't work at all. And on top of that, I wasn't comfortable. I didn't like it. But what I discovered... And it also accentuated a lot of my more masculine features, and I hated it. But what I discovered very quickly was what I can do instead is I can be weird. Whenever I'm getting dressed and I'm looking at myself in the mirror and saying, okay, is this good for the day? And I think, oh wow, I look weird. I lean into it. It's like, oh, my hair looks a little bit like a mess, and I look like I just rolled out of bed. You know what? I'm going to throw on a spiky collar or my barbed wire necklace. I'm going to mess up my hair a little bit. And I'm going to put on a little bit of black eyeshadow or something. I'm going to lean into this and look like a punk. Or, you know what? I look like a weird fae thing. You know what? I'm going to put on some glitter. I'm going to put on something weird. And I'm going to rock this. I'm going to lean into it. And leaning into it has gotten me some really awesome looking freaking looks. Yeah, I like spikes.
Spikes are cool.
Like, before I started transition, my outfit was either I'm gonna have to go and act security, so I gotta look somewhat professional, but I also gotta be able to move enough to hold someone down, or I am going to be absolutely covered in spikes, leather, and other punk stuff. I like punk. Punk made me feel alive, it made me feel accepted. Whenever you're into punk stuff, like, you have the alt-right punks who are stupid,
Anti-punks can screw up.
right? They're not real punks. And then you have the actual punks who are like, there are kids here, I'm sorry. To heck with capitalism, to heck with gender norms and gender binary, to heck with all this other stuff. I'm gonna be comfortable, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna be cool, I'm gonna be me. And those people made me feel so accepted. Like, I could roll up wearing something completely non-punk, and they'd just be like, heck yeah, dude. And I'd be like, heck yeah, dude. And it was cool. It was awesome. The most accepting environment I've ever been in were with these people that had crazy spiked hair, who looked like they had spiked baseball bats in their trunks, and who actively, like, started fights with neo-Nazis and TERFs and stuff like that. Like, that's my fam, dude.
Look at this.
Oh, little baby. But yeah, like, y'all are my family, but they're my fam. Like, I love y'all so much, y'all are so cool, I love being here, but like, part of me is always going to be in the punk community, and I'm always going to have a spot for the punk community in my life. They're just freaking rad, dude. And of course you can hear it in the way I talk sometimes. God. It's great. But yeah, lean into the weird. It's okay to be weird. And it's okay to say, to heck with the gender norms. You can be a trans guy and still wear a dress. You can be a trans chick and still be like, you know what? I'm gonna look like freaking Captain America today. Like, you can be as masculine, as feminine, or as whatever else you want, and still be a guy, a girl, or something else entirely. And that's totally okay. You be you. I'll fight to the death to defend you. I love you. You're freaking awesome. Hi.
Like, I still have skirts and dresses that I wear on occasion just because skirt goes spinny.
Right? And you're so freaking handsome in them, too. And, like, I still have some of my guy clothes that I'll wear as, like, pajamas. And it's cool because, like, I remember wearing this old shirt. It used to be my favorite shirt. Like, if it was clean, that was the shirt I was going to wear that day, period. And I wore it after my transition, like, a month or two ago. After my transition. I've only been transitioning for 8 months?
Almost 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, it's back. Sorry, I guess my computer froze. My apologies. But yeah, I only started transition in August of 2020, so I haven't even been transitioning long. And you can see some of my before and after pictures in the trans server. But, like, there's this shirt I have, which was the shirt, my favorite shirt whenever I was a guy. If it was clean, that was the shirt I was going to wear, period. And I remember wearing it a little, like, maybe 2 months ago, 3 months, to work. And one of my coworkers came up to me, and she was like, "Oh, how was last night?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Oh, come on. Whose shirt do you have?" I was like, mine. This is mine." So yeah, I guess I looked like I was wearing some non-existent boyfriend shirt that I had stolen from him. And that made me feel so cool. It's like, yes, this super oversized shirt is definitely a boyfriend's. I like this look.
Only the clothes you steal from me are my pants.
I like that you and I have basically traded wardrobes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I still have some of my guys' clothes, and I get to have this look of, like, I stole my boyfriend's, like, jackets and shirts and stuff. And it is a really cute look now that I'm smaller. And I like it. Okay. I think that's where we're going to end the stream. Anything else you want to part with?
Just be yourselves, be comfy, be cool.
That's a good motto. Be yourself, be comfy, be cool. I want to get that on a shirt. Okay. So, I love you all. Y'all are amazing. Like, y'all are just incredible. Please make sure to eat and drink today. For anyone who's been lurking, know that you are valid and you're loved, and you're gonna be okay. To anyone that joined as a brigader or transphobic or anything like that, but decided to stay and watch, know that it's gonna be okay. You are still a legit person, and you're awesome. We actually do have merch for the server. It's on our Patreon.
Yeah, we do, because, we have, what was it, mug?
We have a mug, stickers, and a t-shirt that all have the trans server logo on them. I may actually just make a legit online store for people to buy it from.
We should.
Yeah,
we do. Of course,
do.
like, given credit
Right.
to the design.
Fat Otter Storm on the trans server made the logo, and once I've made enough money from my Patreon, around Christmas time, I do intend to do another. Oh, what do I call it? Where you buy art.
commission.
Yeah, I intend to pay Otterstorm a commission to make a Christmas-themed Tran Discord icon. Or, well, Christmas, winter-themed. I am not Christian.
Yeah.
And he is more Jewish than anything.
Not like...
Hard Jewish, but like...
I don't understand why the Christian faith, like, distance itself from Judaism so hard. It's stupid.
Right.
But that's my own
rant.
I'm not going to get into that today.
Yo, I want to be clear, you don't have to buy anything. I'm gonna keep doing all of this because I love it. I love helping people. I love making this content. I love running the server, interacting with y'all. I can go on for a whole nother hour. Like, I want to do this. You don't have to pay me. The only reason I want to get paid for all this, and I want to, make money from it, is because I would love to do this full time. As it is, I work medical, I work 2 8-hour shifts, and then 2 shifts that are minimum 12 hours. And, like, this is me working minimum. Like, there was a time when I was working 70-hour work weeks. I was literally going in at, like, midnight. And just all this other stuff. I would love to be able to full-time focus on the server. Making content, making people happy, checking on people, helping them get the resources they need, offering advice. I just love doing this, and I would love to do it full-time. I don't expect that to happen soon. I expect it to be years down the road. I'm surprised that we've actually grown the way we are, that things are already this successful. It's freaking awesome. I think we're going to have a bright future as the Tran server and the Tran community. Right? God, I hate it. I worked a 48-hour shift once.
It was bad.
It was bad. They gave me... It was very bad. But that's how medical can be. They did give me a 2-week vacation afterwards. Paid vacation afterwards. They were like, okay...
Sleep.
Sleep and go relax. We're gonna pay you in advance, by the way. That was great. Fantastic. 10 out of 10, would never do it again. But yeah, if you haven't eaten and drunk today, please make sure that you do. Please take care of yourself. I love you all. If you were one of the brigaders that came here, I want you to know that you are still loved. I hope you don't come out of a place from pure malice, but instead one of misunderstanding, and we all make mistakes. Like, it's okay to admit that you made a mistake. We'll have you with open arms, and we'll love you all the same, okay? You got this. We all have to learn. I literally used to be a Nazi back whenever I was like 13, 14. I was in a cult. It was not good.
Mine. I say as if I was there. But
but yeah, we all have to grow, and mistakes happen. It's gonna be okay. I love you all, and y'all are all amazing, okay?